lost his job one day when he wouldn't take a cut in pay. Couldn't find another place, even one that paid him less. So he settled into his easy chair with his dog-eared magazines till the bank took back our house and my mama only screamed. When she was a little girl, she dreamed she found a pearl hidden in the pocket of her pants. But the pants were full of holes, and when she woke the pearl was gone. She was only 6 years old. Hold on tight, my mama said. Keep your eye upon the sun, put your faith in the road ahead. Days of mercy was sure to come when the world is blown apart. In the eye of a hurricane, and strength and courage fill your heart. Days of mercy will come again. So we sold off all we owned, headed east in a touring car, found a place with a plot of land down in windy Arkansas. Daddy worked on the lady's farm, but my mama heard it said he didn't work that lady's field much as he worked her bed. So she packed a cardboard case with a single change of clothes, put the baby on her hip, told us all to follow close, and we began the long walk home to the California coast. Hold on tight, my mama said. Keep your eye upon the sun, put your faith in the road ahead. Days of mercy will surely come when the world is blown apart. In the eye of a hurricane, and strength and courage fill your heart. Days of mercy will come again. When I fainted from the heat in the Oklahoma sun, Mama led me to a stream, dipped a cloth to bathe my head, walked all through New Mexico, and in the migrant worker camps, I learned all there was to know about the kindness of the Lord. Though the children dressed in rags, they gave us everything they had, bags of sweets and ready smile, fresh tortilla by the fire, in the huts of rusted iron, till the baby started crying. Hold on tight, my mama said. Keep your eye upon the sun, put your faith in the road ahead. Days of mercy will surely come when the world is blown apart. In the eye of a hurricane, and strength and courage fill your heart. Days of mercy will come again. When we finally reached L.A. by a lake in Lincoln Park, man was standing all alone, throwing crumbs to feed the ducks. When you gonna take those children home? Asked the man, and my mama said, we just walked 2,000 miles, we'll make it yet with a little luck. Then the man just turned away, said he guessed his time had come. He pulled out $2 bills, enough to see us right, for a can of pork and beans and some shelter for the night. Hold on tight, my mama said. Keep your eye upon the sun, put your faith in the road ahead. Days of mercy will surely come when the world is blown apart. In the eye of a hurricane, and strength and courage fill your heart. Days of mercy will come again. Hold on tight, my mama said. Keep your eye upon the sun, put your faith in the road ahead. Days of mercy will surely come when the world is blown apart. In the eye of a hurricane, and strength and courage fill your heart. Days of mercy will come again. He caught a train out of La Mancha, and it carried him down to the sea. Give me a one-way ticket to where you think I'd rather be. Don't know where the sun rises now, and I don't know where she will be. He caught a train from a out upon a tossing ocean, sick with the movement of the waves. In the desk he found a faded journal, and he settled down to reading every page. The sun had gone down, his lamps had all burned low, when the last entry finally set him free. He caught a train from a Spanish sunrise, headed into an Irish sea. There came the sound of summer running as he stood beside the railing in the dawn, and a half-remembered memory inside him awakened from a slumber decades long, and casting aside the mirrored face he wore, against his tail a gentle mutiny. He caught a train from a Spanish sunrise, headed into an Irish sea. Time flies like an arrow, straight toward the setting sun with nothing left behind. A season fine for Prometheus set free, and a medicine for melancholy found upon the sea. He caught a train out of La Mancha, and it carried him down to the sea. Oh, now give me a one-way ticket to where you think I'd rather be. I don't know where the sun rises now, and I don't know where she will be. He caught a train from a Spanish sunrise, headed into an Irish sea. Sinking with darkness coming on, no sword or lance to take the field in rags against the cold, but as he rode he sang out brave and bold. He sang, hey, 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 hey. Well, I am a knight, I am a knight, I am a knight, said he. Of all the kingdoms of the world, no finer thing to be. I am a knight, I am a knight, I am a knight, said he. Of all the kingdoms of the world, no finer thing to be. Well, the night was warm and the sky was clear as we sank down through the air. But we were lost and wandering through streets that did not care. And the onboard navigation, I swear, had gone insane, sending us in circles through streets that had no name. Then suddenly we saw them with New York on our right. Light lay all about them, it was pushing back the lonely night. And we came into their presence and tried to find our way. Turned off the navigator to hear what they would say. And they were the toll booth ladies, those goddesses of the night. Toll booth ladies, and when you're going wrong, they'll set you right. And it was in the asphalt jungle, Lord, lost as I could be. Toll booth ladies, toll booth ladies rescue me. Now, second time we saw them, they laughed and they said, no, not quite. Nice to see you here again, but you missed some lefts, you missed some rights. Now listen to my preaching, boy, and do not deviate, and you will your destination before it gets too late. They were the toll booth ladies, goddesses of the night. Toll booth ladies, when you're going wrong, they'll set you right. And it was in the asphalt jungle, Lord, lost as I could be. Toll booth ladies, toll booth ladies rescue me. Well, now the third time we saw them, they made us turn around. Edna said, I will smack you if you stay lost and you don't get found. Cause you headed for Manhattan. She lifted up her hand, showed to me the road that headed into the promised land. I said, I can't get there from here. I can't get there from here. Oh, I can't get there from here. Well, I looked out, I saw their light from the window by my bed. Wasn't very far away, I should have walked instead. But I left my grateful fingerprints pasted to the glass and fell asleep while I was clutching a Jersey toll booth pass. And they were the toll booth ladies, goddesses of the night. Toll booth ladies, when you're going wrong, they'll set you right. And it was in the asphalt jungle, Lord, lost as I could be. Toll booth ladies rescue me. It's knowing that your door is always open and your path is free to walk. It makes me tend to leave my sleeping bag rolled up and stashed behind your couch. And it's knowing I'm not shackled by forgotten words and bonds and ink stains that are dried upon some line. It keeps you on the back roads by the rivers of my memory, keeps you ever gentle on my mind. It's not clinging to the rocks and ivy planted on their columns now that bind me, or something that somebody said because they thought we'd fit together walking. It's just knowing that the world will not be cursing or forgiving as I walk along some railroad track and find that you're waiting on the back roads by the rivers of my memory, ever smiling, ever gentle on my mind. Though the wheat fields, the clotheslines, the junkyards, and the highways come between us, and some mother woman's crying to her mother 'cause she turned and I was gone, I still might run in silence, tears of joy might stain my face, and a summer sun might burn me till I'm blind. Not to where I cannot see, walking on the back roads by the rivers flowing gentle on my mind. I dip my cup of soup back from a gurgling, crackling cauldron in some train yard. My beard a rough and cold pile and a dirty hat pulled low across my face. Through cup tans round a tin can, I pretend to hold you to my breast and find that you're waiting on the back roads by the rivers of my memory, ever smiling, ever gentle on my mind. lecture hall will do an academia song. Now the year was 1818, Edgar Poe was only 9. H.G. Wells and Jules Verne weren't born yet at that time. But a 19-year-old girl sat down and wrote out her depiction of science gone so very wrong. Mary Shelley is the mom of modern science fiction. And 40 years on down the road, before the Civil War, Eunice Foote set up her lab and she started to explore how CO2 might play a role in atmospheric heat. Her husband read her work before, a science group of men galore who refused to let her speak. Mary Shelley, Eunice Foote, and 100 more besides. History rewritten now to push them all aside. Writers, artists, scientists, and all the works they wrote. What did Crick and Watson find? Rosalind Franklin's notes. Now the poet Byron had a daughter, Ada was her name. 100 years before the arc of Turing's genius flamed, she merged her math with poetry. It was an epic sort of ode, and laid a path into the future to your phone and your computer that grew out of her code. And there was Lisa Meitner and her partner Otto Hahn, who bombarded some uranium with a cascade of neutrons. Now Otto had no clue why there was barium emission, but Lisa Meitner did the math. She mapped out the electron's path and said, hey, that's nuclear fission. Mary Shelley, Eunice Foote, and 100 more besides. History rewritten now to push them all aside. Writers, artists, scientists, and all the works they wrote. What did Crick and Watson find? Rosalind Franklin's notes. Oh, Crick and Watson, twisted pair, discovered DNA, but conveniently forgot to mention that it wasn't they who photographed the double helix, mapping out our progeny. Rosalind Franklin did the work. They took the credit, published first, got a Nobel for misogyny. Mary Shelley, Eunice Foote, and 100 more besides. History rewritten now to push them all aside. Writers, artists, scientists, and all the works they wrote. What did Crick and Watson find? Rosalind Franklin's notes. Alone on the dance floor at midnight, waiting for you to appear. A red velvet dress, black satin lace, dusted my memories dear. But you're waiting alone on a floor like my own for a man with a face that's not mine. So I'll dance alone with a ghost I once knew, once upon a time. This is my lost lover's waltz, dancing like lovers do. This is my lost lover's lost waltz that I never danced with you. And down by the water where the minstrels all play, the painters, they wait for the light. The dancers, they sit with their feet in their hands and quietly rest from the night. And the playwrights, they sit with their quills in their hands, and they drink their black coffee like wine. But no words they write can turn back the pages when you were the measure of time. This is my lost lover's waltz, dancing like lovers do. This is my lost lover's lost and mornings with you dressed in sunlight. Ooh, dee, 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 la, 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 la. Ooh, doo, 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 dee, 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 la, 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 la. Alone on the dance floor at midnight, candles beginning to fade. The mirrors are empty, they won't show my face. Shadows in silent parade. And locking the doors as I make my way home through the empty streets crowded too soon. Following footsteps that lead ever onwards, stepping in time with the moon. This is my lost lover's waltz, dancing like lovers do. This is my lost lover's lost waltz that I never dance with you. Ooh, dee, 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 dee. They say the Phoenix drives a Thunderbird. Anything else would be absurd. At first I thought the car was black, but later not so sure. It was a cold and graveyard kind of night. Cheap Formica, fluorescent light. When that car pulled up with a driver in torn and faded jeans. Well, he looked half dead when he came on in, but he sat at the counter and tried to grin. "Coffee, please, strong and black," were the only words he said. So I cleaned the grill and he drank it down, and he sang to himself in that one-horse town, on a nameless road, on a nameless night, in a faded desert diner. He said, "I rise." He said, "I rise." "Looks like better days have passed you by," he said as he ate some apple pie, and his face a sunburned road map of everywhere he'd been. I said, "That's true enough for both of us, but I let them go without a fuss, 'cause some of us peak early, it's all downhill from there." But he shook his head, said, "You got it wrong. Darkness comes before the dawn. Dying is easy, rising is hard. It's what you're made to do." Well, we sat there a bit. He grew frail, brittle as a rusty coffin nail, and the wind was blowing colder. It was hammering at the door. He said, "Listen here and learn from me. Don't believe everything you see. There are things beyond my pay grade, but I can tell you this. Each lonely day and empty night waits for you to call the light and take the place of sunrise on any path you choose. And I rise." He said, "I rise. I hope I rise." Well, at 5 a.m. he was almost gone, hunched over the counter. Face was drawn, eyes were sick and sad, staring out the big glass window. Slowly as the sky turned gray, he smiled at me, but he turned away, and like smoke he was gone. But fire and glory burned the land and sky, and the engine of the Thunderbird, it roared to life, and as I turned, he laughed, he flared into the sun, and the road was suddenly bare. A feather lay upon the floor, a burning ember by the door, and in the darkness, I hold it tight, I threw away the bottle that held back the night, and I listened for the coming dawn that's singing in the sky. And I rise. I say I rise, and every day I rise. stormy Sunday morning and the rain was pouring down. So I took refuge in the library uptown, and there I sulked and fretted like an angry child, until one of the librarians sat next to me and smiled. He was tall, he was handsome, his smile was like the sun. He said, "I think you need some help, you're looking rather glum." I hesitated briefly and then opened up my soul, and I told him while I wandered through the wet and cold. I said, "Oh, I am looking for heroes, light to drive the dark away, Superman to save the day, but all the skies are emptiness and gray. Ordinary, everyday, 9 to 5 with bills to pay, Captain Marvel's far away. Tell me, where have all the heroes gone?" He said, "Everything's a story. Change the story, change the world, and here you'll find the answer to the question you have hurled. There's no more fertile soil for the heroes that we need than all the stories gathered here for everyone to read. For this is where the hero's journey starts. Every line on every page will guide a growing heart. Now flying through the sky sounds like fun, but heroes are in everyone, not the few, not the one. Love, justice, daily done. Here's the secret, your quest has won. Heroes are not born, they are honestly made, by the sweat of their brow, by the tools of their trade. Sometimes with iron, sometimes with steel, always with love and the courage to feel the labors of Hercules close to their breast, day in, day out, with no time to rest. They look just like you, they look just like me, with their capes tucked up neatly for no one to see. Well, I sat there bewildered, I sat there perplexed. I thought, wait, don't heroes all wear leather and spandex? If what he was saying was true and was right, there were heroes all around me, hidden in plain sight. And then there came a voice by our knees. A very young child said, "Mr. Kent, help me please. My mother said you tell me where to look to find this very special book. It's all about the dinosaurs with lots of color pictures, mostly from the late Cretaceous, but before the Cenomanian-Turonian boundary event, because that's the best part of the Mesozoic, when Tyrannosaurus Rex and Quetzalcoatlus were around, and they are like so totally cool, man. Mr. Kent, help me please." "That I can do," said the man as he rose, and he pointed the child towards the books that he chose. He winked as he passed me, and I saw on his chest, under his shirt, the red shape of an S. Oh, heroes are not born, they are honestly made, by the sweat of their brow, by the tools of their trade. Sometimes with iron, sometimes with steel, but always with the love and the courage to feel. dead one morning. It was 9 a.m., struck down by a radar dish that stretched to heaven's end. And when the prophet heard the news, she laughed until she cried. And then she shouted, God is dead, long live the divine. Then in the rain, along the strip, her holiness, she let it slip all night long. Stand on the walls of Jerusalem, cry out to a desert land, that we need not guns in the darkness, we need water from the sand. Oh, 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 Jerusalem. The morning after found her on a barroom floor, lying in the consequences of the night before, and staggering through dirty streets, she made her way back home and cried behind the bathroom door, naked and alone. The compass lost, the map was burned, while in the darkness monsters turned and called out her name. Stand on the walls of Jerusalem, cry out to a desert land, that we need not guns in the darkness, we need water from the sand. Oh, 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 Jerusalem. It's a miracle of rare device, begotten for a beggar's price. It's been 40 years and a day, time to wipe this weary mud away. The drum to war was sounding. It was 9 a.m. There were walls to keep the strangers out, but locked their children in. And the prophet, who was godless, saw the census, stood upon the shifting sands, and bravely shouted love to all the monsters on the land. Then suddenly, amazed to find that love was echoed back in kind, from a voice so still and small it hardly was a voice at all. Then her wife said, don't you know, most things have to die to grow in their own time. So come, my love, stand on the walls of Jerusalem, cry out to a desert land, and we shall be not guns in the darkness, we are water from the sand. Oh, Jerusalem, stand on a house about Kirk out upon the Irish Sea, where it's written on the doorway, where the windows used to be, that all who come inside will be tucked in for a lovely evening tea. There's a house about Kirk and it's tilted on its side, drunk upon the tempest, surrounded by the tide, but solid all Byzantium, where candled windows and the dark collide. There's a house about Kirk and it's full of sleepy bears and a dozen shabby tigers who bounce upon the stairs. And out along the widow's walk, Joe Strummer singing with the mescaleers. And well about Kirk is a child who loves the dogs, and one who plants her flowers from the garden catalogs, and one who builds her dragons hidden softly in the heavy autumn fogs. Only heroes dare the kitchen, pie and pudding on the wall and floor. It's my favorite mystery, it's the pages of our history. There's a house about Michael, and in it I will die. I'll leave it for the children, with the windows open wide, those poets and their patchwork quilted boats to set them free. These fragments have I shored against my ruin, and love shall not be lost in this summer flowered house beside the sea. And broken at last by despair, his futile sanity is laid waste, and knighted in his armored mind, he rides forth to heal the world. He casts aside his given name, and he takes up the mantle of the Midnight Commander. He patrolled the New York subway, the Q train Broadway line, from 96th on down to Coney Isle. His superhero mask was red, it was a pair of underwear, with rubber boots and cape a kitchen towel. And he knew the nightly riders, and he called them all by name, and they made sure his nightly fare was paid, while his history was hidden and his origins obscure. On a ragged subway seat, a New York hero he was made. If angry words were thrown against two women holding hands, or a homeless man was kicked and put to shame, if someone in a turban was pushed around and cursed, his eyes would flash and loudly he'd exclaim, he'd say, I am the Midnight Commander. I am a flame, I'm a beacon in the night. I am the Midnight Commander. Oh, set aside your hatred, put aside your fear, for the Midnight Commander is here. Oh, the Midnight Commander is here. Broadway line were proud and tall when he would pass them by. They'd smile at one another, they'd give a mighty cheer whenever they would hear his ringing cry. When he said, I am the midnight commander, I am the flame, I'm the beacon in the night, I am the midnight commander. Oh, set aside your hatred, put aside your fear, for the midnight commander is here. Oh, the midnight commander is here. But all good deeds are punished. Someone finally made the call to New York's Metro Clinic with a tale. And a bed check found one empty. They found the window open wide. They found footprints heading toward the subway rail. And so the lords of Bedlam came, each one dressed in white. And they found him riding on his nightly fare. They called him by his given name, and that took away his soul and brought him back to his confused despair. But I am the midnight commander, he said as they gently led him off into the night. But I am the midnight commander, who will keep them from their hatred and rescue them from fear. If the midnight commander's not here, if the midnight commander's not here. Now the New York City subway, the Q train Broadway line, gallops through the night just like before. But at 96th and 2nd, all the riders take a stand, for New York's Don Quixote was no more. And on the empty platform, as the train goes on its way, if you listen very closely, you can hear the voices say, they say, remember, remember, don't give in to hatred or to fear. Remember, oh, remember now, the midnight commander was here. I say the midnight commander was here. Well, it started in Manhattan. It was a single burning flame. It spread to Queens, the Bronx, then Brooklyn, and Staten Island was the same. And Macy's, they ran out of red underwear, and rubber boots could simply not be found. They carved words into the subway walls, and 1,000 voices thundered with a sound. And the word said, I am the midnight commander, I am a flame, I'm a beacon in the night, I am the midnight commander. Oh, set aside your hatred, put aside your fear, for the midnight commander is here. Oh, the midnight commander is here. I am the queen of Elfland Thomas, said the writing on the wall. Look for me on the A train headed south, when you thought you wouldn't find me at all. I've been watching you all your life, waiting for the day I would take you down under the hill. 7 years, 7 months, 7 days. So ride with me o'er the ferny brae, through the rivers of blood that run on the road from the Eildon Hills. my bed and board. Sing for me in the dawn. Sing for me as the crowd rushes in and the loudspeaker says to get on. Sing for me by the sun and the moon, though neither one hang in the sky. Electric blue is the light underground as the time passes seamlessly by. Trade your songs for silence now. To the truth has your tongue been trained, till the winds and the seasons change. I am the queen of Elfland, Thomas. You are mine, you are mine, you are mine. For though you walk on the earth once again, it will be for